is heart rate.
What's
So our
that?
objectives today are we're going to warm up, we're going to do a review, we're going to do target heart rates, key vocabulary, and then our lesson is fitness frenzy. It will end with questions and answers with discussions in small groups. So your specific objectives today, by the end of the lesson today, class, do you want to read it with me? Got it. Specific objectives, by the end of the lesson today, I will identify and demonstrate at least one exercise that targets my heart rate and perform this exercise, be able to discuss the importance of strength and endurance fitness, and I will praise my classmates using positive language. Can somebody give me an example of positive language? Be serious, please.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. What about when you're doing games? When
You're
you're
doing a
games?
great job.
Perfect. What else? Review a heart rate. I need you guys to actually participate, please. A heart rate. What is it?
Your rate of your heart.
The
Rate of your heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. How do we find our heart rate? Does anybody know?
You
Check your pulse.
Check your pulse. Where?
Your
On your
neck.
neck.
Neck. What is that called?
Your pulse.
Up here.
Your
Carotid.
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 Carotid. Like carotid artery.
Everybody feel? Feel?
I don't feel mine.
You can't feel it? Alright, so then the other spot. Where can you find it?
Your radius.
Wrist. Radial artery in your wrist. 2 fingers inside your wrist towards your thumb. Feel it?
Wait, what?
I don't feel
2 fingers, pointer and middle finger,
yeah.
inside of your wrist towards your thumb. Good. So your resting heart rate is what it would be right now. So if we take our pulse right now, so everybody find it. We'll do it for 30 seconds. Everybody find it? Okay, hold on. Start counting now. Go. 30 seconds. And stop. And times that by 2. What did you guys get?
88.
64.
88, 64. Anybody else?
80. No way. I was kind of like 32. I got
Resting
64.
heart rate switch. Depending on who is more active. If you're more active, more fit, it's going to be lower. Not as it could be higher. Okay, so an active heart rate, that is when we're moving. So when we're moving around, it's going to get a lot more, it's going to get higher when you're being active. So if we're doing push-ups, if you're doing running, if you're walking, doing anything other than just sitting, it's going to start rising. Can anybody give me other examples of how it rises? You serious?
Jogging.
Jogging, perfect.
Lifting
Jumping
those heavy
jacks.
weights.
Lifting weights,
Jumping jacks.
jumping jacks,
Push-ups.
Soccer.
Eating.
Swimming.
You hear about the
Sleeping, we'll take it down. Alright, so
Taking
today's
the
lesson
test.
we're gonna find our target heart rates. So our heart rate zones, top is 109 to 90%, that's it. You're going completely over the top. You're going to feel exhausted. You're gonna be breathing fast and your muscles might feel tired. Examples of those activities, short sprints, soccer, and basketball. Benefits from that, you're going to develop speed and your performance will get up. Tyler, please stop. Healthy heart is 70 to 90%. It's moderate to vigorous activity, which is what you need to get 30 minutes every day, which is why we have PE. That is going to have, your breathing will be easy to heavy, you'll have light muscle strain, and it's an average sweat. So you will break a little bit of a sweat. Examples of those are games, jogging, cycling, or dancing.
Play plenty of those.
Benefits of that improves aerobic fitness and performance capacity. We'll go over what aerobic means shortly. And an active heart rate is 60 to 70%, which is easy to moderate. It's breathing, you have a comfortable breath, it's low muscle load, and it's a very, very light sweat. Example activities of that are warm up and cool down, which we'll do soon, brisk walking, playing catch, and volleyball. Benefits, yes, question?
What are the downfalls to this?
Downfalls to active exercise?
Yeah.
Falls of exercise.
Getting hit by a bus when you're riding a bike.
That's something to consider. So safety hazards, possibly. Benefits from active heart rates improves basic endurance and muscle tone. So why is it important to exercise? Again, why is it important to exercise?
So you don't have diabetes.
So you don't have diabetes, okay?
To stay healthy.
High blood
To stay
pressure.
healthy.
To live
To
long.
get high blood pressure?
No, so you don't get high blood pressure.
Okay, so you don't get high blood pressure, yes. Anybody else?
Live long.
Live long, good. So what we have up here, we have a healthy heart, it reduces stress, will strengthen our bones, we'll sleep better at night, it improves our immune system, and decreases illness. So target keywords we're going to go over. So target heart rate, can somebody read what you have on the paper, please? Yes. Tyler.
Heart
right between 60 to 80% of maximum heart rate. More intense workout maintained during aerobic exercise.
Good. Can somebody read me what the next one says? Next one.
Number 3, cardiovascular endurance, relating to heart and lung supplying oxygen to the muscles to produce energy.
Thank you. Next one. Anybody?
Flexibility, ability of joints to move freely, range of motion of joints.
Good. Next one.
Muscular endurance, ability to move your body or an object without getting tired.
Good. And next one. Anybody?
Aerobic with oxygen, exercise that requires oxygen, increased heart rate, produces energy.
And the last one.
Is that anaerobic?
Yes.
Without air, exercise that requires little oxygen targets individual muscles.
Great. Does anybody have any questions on our keywords?
What's anaerobic?
Anaerobic. We just went over it. It is. Can somebody help him?
Without air.
Without air, so it's little exercise. So
So
it's
ana
something.
without arrow with.
Yes.
Ooh, I
Perfect.
like this.
So if aerobic is with oxygen and it's an exercise or it's a way of exercising, what kind of exercises do you think would be defined as aerobic exercise?
Running.
Running.
Yoga.
Yoga.
Anaerobic.
Anaerobic. You're standing there, stretching. Are you breathing hard?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. But if I was sitting here doing this, am I going to be breathing hard?
Aerobic.
Yes. Any other questions?
Nope.
No? Okay. So now we're going to be working in groups of 3 or 2, so you guys can get into groups. And you guys are going to be finding your target heart rate.
It's Team Alpha over here. What's up, boys?
The Carbone method. Resting heart rate. Can somebody explain to me what resting heart rate might be?
Heart rate when you're just chilling out.
Yes,
like,
we went over it earlier, so when you're sitting there. Resting heart rate. A target heart rate. A target heart rate is what we want to be at to get our maximum exercise benefits. So the method we're going to use is the Carbone method. It's on your worksheets. It's going to be 220 minus your age. So what is your age?
20.
12, 13, yes. Minus RHR, which is your resting heart rate, times 0.60 plus your resting heart rate again. So I left some space on those worksheets. I want you guys to figure that out with your partners right now. So start working on it.
So now we're how old? 22.
I'm 13.
Minus 12. Resting heart rate, 64.
Questions?
Oh,
Don't use your cell phone. Thank you.
Teacher!
I'll put my phone away when I get to class.
This one is their math or PE. I don't like this. See, 220 minus
Since
12.
when is there math and PE? That is a good question. Why should we do math and PE?
When you're counting.
Not when. Why should we do math and PE?
So you can count.
So we can count. Is it extra practice?
So we can see how many
Yes.
more push-ups we can do than each other.
That too. That'll work. All right. Has everybody found their lower target heart rate zone? So this is the minimum you want your heart rate to be at to get extreme maximum benefits. All right. So then your higher target heart rate zone is going to be the same formula, except for when you get to the end, it is 0.80 that you're going to be timesing your resting heart rate zone. So why don't you work on that one next? And we will find our heart rate zone that we want to be in for today's activity. All right, so while you're working on that, I'm going to pass out your guys' next.
I think I just got like 1,000. Yeah, man.
What did you get for your answer?
420.
75. It should be in between two. So when you have both of your lower heart rate and your higher heart rate zones, put them on the bottom, because that is what you're going to want to stay in between today during our fitness frenzy lesson.
You said?
410. A little high.
Hey, 182.
So between 60 to 80%, an average heart rate would be about 120 to 160. 120 to 160. So what do you have here?
110.
110, so it's got to be in between two numbers. So what's your lower heart rate?
100.
100, and what's your higher heart rate?
133.
150?
Yeah.
Okay. Lower heart rate zone.
133.
Higher heart rate zone.
160.
Perfect. Lower heart rate zone.
120.
Higher heart rate zone.
65.
Good. Okay, so now that we all know our zones of what we want to stay in, today's lesson is going to be fitness frenzy. So you guys are going to be going around to the different stations. For example, over here we have our step-ups. It'll have a picture of what you should do. There's also modifications if it gets too hard, if you feel like your heart rate's getting too high, and if it's getting too low, there's also modifications to make it harder. There's also directions written there for you guys to read. There's 9 different stations. The ones we have right now are step-ups, we have push-ups, and we have lower body stretches. On your worksheets, take a look at your worksheets. Find your worksheets for me.
Oh.
On your worksheets, you guys are going to name the station that you're at. In the middle, we're going to be taking our heart rate. So we're going to do each station for 1 minute. At 1 minute, you'll hear me whistle. You're going to stand up, find your heart rate. I want you to do it on your wrist. Find your heart rate, and we're going to count for 30 seconds, times it by 2, and we're going to write down our heart rate for that activity that you were just at. When you're done with that, at the end, you're going to write whether or not you think that was a flexibility, a cardiovascular, or can somebody tell me what the other one is?
Aerobic.
Look on your worksheets.
Muscular.
A muscular activity, okay? So really quickly, do you remember the definition between those three? Cardiovascular. What kind of activity might that be?
Running.
Cardio, running, perfect. What about muscular? What kind of activity might that be?
Push-up.
Push-ups, good. What's it doing when it's, yes, muscles, we're working muscles, muscular. And last one is flexibility. What might you be doing? Yoga or what?
Him tie.
Him tie. Okay. So yes, you guys are going to have to decide whether or not which activity those are defined as, okay? So when I say go, you're going to take your group to one of the stations and get prepared to start. So go, everybody up. You're going with your partner to that activity. I'll say go, I'll start the music, and you may do it, you're going to be doing it for 1 minute. So read. All right, so 1 minute, are we ready?
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Yes.
1 minute.
Yep.
Ready? And begin. At your next station, read up, find out what you're doing. Remember, if you're too tired now, look for the modified version. If you think your heart rate was too high on the last one, slow it down. If you think you can work a little bit harder and you have an option to do so, try it out. All right, when the music begins, you may start. You have 1 minute. Go! Drop boys after a while, switch up your lower body stretch. Drop boys over here. If it gets too hard, you can take a break, you can. If you need to modify, you can modify. Okay, go ahead and modify if you need to. Hold it. Just hold it. You can't do it anymore. And stop, everybody up. Slowly, if you're from the ground, slowly get up. Find your heart rate. And start counting now. And stop. Times that by 2. Write it down in your next box. Any examples? What's your heart rate at, boys over here?
132.
132. Boys over here in station 2, what is your heart rate at?
64.
64, okay. Are there any ways you guys can modify those? So if yours wasn't in your target heart rate zone, what do you think you could do on that station? Any examples?
Work harder.
Work harder, yes, but how could you do it in this?
push myself to the absolute limit.
Don't
We don't wanna
Don't
push
stop
ourselves to
there,
the
don't
absolute.
snap all.
Okay. We don't wanna push ourselves to the limit, but we wanna get up there.
So
So
you get a little
stretches.
tired.
Is there any
That's
way
when
you
you go
think we
like-
can modify stretches to get harder?
Intenser stretches.
Intensive
Stretch
stretches.
deeper.
Scorpios.
Deeper, okay, that's a good example. Alright, last
Deeper.
station, switch it up, go to the next one. Read up, find out if you have any questions, let me know. There's modified versions again, remember if it's too hard.
Teacher, that's not hurt my tattoo.
Alright, remember once music starts, begin, you have 1 minute.
1 minute, not 120.
Go! Find your heart rates and begin counting now.
Alright, start.
And stop. Multiply that by 2, put it in that box for me, please. Today's specific objectives, let's read those again. Identify and demonstrate at least one exercise that targets my heart rate. So how many of you found an exercise that targets your heart rate?
Me,
What was that example, Taylor?
the push-ups.
Push-ups that got your heart rate up. You didn't get your heart rate up, so that was in your target heart rate zone. So
Yes.
you doing push-ups got you into that zone.
Uh-huh.
Yes, anybody else?
Yeah, the step ups.
Step ups, what was your heart rate in that?
140.
140. What did you classify that exercise as?
All the
Hard.
above.
All of the above hard, right? But going back to flexibility, cardiovascular or
I would say it's more
Muscular.
cardiovascular.
cardiovascular. Can somebody explain to me what cardiovascular means?
When you're getting your heart pumping.
When you're getting, you're getting gains. Okay, when you're getting your heart rate pumping, good. Okay, next objective, be able to discuss the importance of strength and endurance. So I want you to turn to a partner. Somebody doesn't have one, they can talk to me. Hi, you talk to me. Alright, I want you to discuss with your partner the importance of strength and endurance fitness.
So you want to
What do you think you have? Why is it? Let's open it back up. So what did we come into? What did you find? Discussing the importance of strength and endurance.
Staying healthy.
Yeah,
Staying
that
healthy.
Keeps you alive.
It'll keep you alive, okay?
Good.
Feeling good. Anybody else? What about you guys over here?
You know, games.
Making
No
gains.
illnesses.
Okay. And our last objective today, praise my classmates using positive language. Did anybody use positive language with their teammates? I saw a few. I saw teamwork today. Anybody else?
I said let's get in the rhythm, guys. Yippee.
Okay, encouragement. Anybody else? You encourage your teammates.
I did more than my teammate did, therefore it pushed them to go harder.
That's one way to look at it. But we want to use positive language, like good job, like.
Great job, Jose, keep going.
Okay, I want you to go home. You're going to find three other ways to find an exercise that will get your heart rate up into your target heart rate zone. So what we found today with our target heart rate zone, right,
Yeah.
is where we are going to get the most benefits from our exercise. So whatever you found today, which one of those, muscular, flexibility, or cardiovascular? Cardiovascular got you there? So you might want to go home and explore other cardiovascular fitness exercises that'll get you into that area and let me know tomorrow. That is your homework. Go home, explore other